Hello, my name is Tom. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about news, reviews and rides going on in the PV community. On this episode, we got some real big insight in the legend, in the PV scene, SOCAL Legend. So let's find out what really happened. Let's go. So as I said, I'm really super excited about this one. Interviewing the community, this was one of the main things I really wanted from Esk8CON. So this is kind of day 3 before the Red Rock ride that we've already watched in our previous video. But this was kind of a good chance to kind of like have a one-to-one with the legend, Joe W, the SOCAL Legend. Basic guy's been in the scene for almost 8 years, kind of repping since day 1 and kind of really having his impact in the community, doing events, group rides, building boards, and kind of having a really big impact on kind of progressing the sport and the community as a whole. So on this one, we've kind of got that one-to-one experience to get to know Joe a little bit better. And basically it meets me chilling in his crib. So thank you very much for inviting me over and getting to know a little bit more about Joe and how he ended up in with M boards and working alongside companies such as Hoyt and with the Stooge race boards as well. But anyway, let's get ourselves straight on to the interview. Right, so we're back, and this is a bit of a surreal one for me, being up with Joe. Like, this is like veteran back in the day, man. So this is, first of all,
you call me an old man.
Yeah, we're all man. Veterans back in the day. This is the thing, man. Thank you for spending the time, and this is great, man. I'm privileged, like, to have this connect with someone who gets it all this time. But yeah, do you want to just, people who, for some reason, who wouldn't know who you are, do you want to do a quick brief on who you are?
Yeah, so my name is Joe W, aka the SOCAL Legend. I've been an ambassador in the community for the last 8 years, and these two hands have built over 20,000 boards for Evolve skateboards. And now I'm dabbling into the DIY world with my awesome Stooge board. And then I got my Metro board and my Hoyts in the car, because we're gonna go rip tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna see some stuff on that later. And it's like, but that's the thing, is like, literally you've had hands in every pie. Because like, you see that as well, you're a content guy.
Yeah.
You know, you got your Electric Road show and doing that stuff. Building, deal, and that's one thing I wanted to say, which I really discovered at M Boards.
Yeah.
Is I think that's missed because you've been involved in builds with brands at the time. Your engineering is incredible, man. And it's the attention to small detail.
I think it's my OCD. So I've learned that along the way. But for me, whenever I look at something, I look at it as like a piece of artwork. Sure. That's why I like repping Hoyt, because their design is so flawless. But whenever I'm building a board, I want to make sure if a customer ever opens up that board or looks at it, they're like, whoa, this looks better than the last board that I had, you know? So I just take pride in that because I was that customer once.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the main thing that I've taken away from all these years is I was that customer, and I want the customer to have the same experience that I've had.
One thing I like, when I really knew when I was a bit like, damn, and like the detail was when you was like, look at this tiny little 3D printed spacer I put in these bushes, which I'm going to try and highlight, and I'll try and put a bit of B-roll in there as well. But that kind of attention to detail is just incredible, man. And I think that's one of the kind of underlying things that people don't see from what you do, because it's always hosting, repping, organizing, which is incredible. But that kind of, I think that is underrated from, I didn't realize until I've met you, like the detail with what you put in things.
So just a small, like 30-second background history. Back in 2001, I went to college, 2001, so we're at 2023 now? So 22 years ago, I went to a college in Orlando. It's called Motorcycle Mechanics Institute. And I studied Harley Davidson motorcycles. So I did that for, I don't know, 8 months. My mentor, I worked at a shop. He was a Hell's Angels guy, tattoo on his face, 1%er. He was badass, but he got killed on a motorcycle, and it happened like right in front of me, and so it like messed me up. So I stopped everything that had to do with motorcycles, and I got into construction work. So you can see the detail that's starting to form. So I got into construction work and building houses, turnkey houses, and building it from the ground up. So the attention to detail happened along those years, and then moving on to an electric skateboard that has urethanes, you know as well as I do, things start to loosen over a couple rides. And so I started teaching an electric skateboard, like treating it in my head as it was a Harley, because that's what happens to Harleys. They start to, you know, loosen over.
It's a bit like a fine wine. It starts to come out of itself.
And so after that, I just started getting really detail oriented with stuff. And then I started just taking pride in what I did, because at the end of the day, whenever I leave this world, I want someone to say, man, he was like very detailed, because I study these things. You know, I'm on forums. I mean, for the last 8-9 years, I've been on forums and learning things, and I've been deathly afraid of batteries. But once you can actually get to understanding what a battery does and how it's built together, and that detail OCD that I have, I think I can.
It's exciting because that's the thing in this scene, and like with yourself, it's all the hats, all the fingers in pie. So you look to tinker.
Trade secrets, homie.
Yeah.
I worked for a company for 7 years, learned a lot of stuff. Working for another company, I'm learning a lot of stuff. So I'm learning the back end things that customers don't get to see. You know, the Electric Roadshow. So who knows? I mean, I'm wanting to build my own thing. You know, I've been in this scene for a lot of years, and I think that people, if they had a SOCAL Legend custom board, they're gonna be like, oh, I know how this board is built because I've owned 3 Evolve boards and an M board, and I saw his Stooge board, so I know what he's capable of. So, you know, it's just learning and stacking and stacking and stacking. And if you, at the end of the day, if you're not learning something in a day, you wasted that day, homie. You gotta keep learning, because if you're not learning, what's the point of living?
So one thing I was interested to say as well, obviously the build element, but also with like the massive impact, and like obviously, you know, different side of the water. Like, I love your impact in this community, like generally, because if it wasn't for people like you and those kind of ambassadors for the community, and I love the fact that's how you realize the identity thing, is the amount of impact you've had to so many people.
I haven't realized that until like the last 6 months, when people are like, oh dude, I bought an Evolve board because I watched your video. Now it's like, oh great, but it's like, oh, you're on a Cali?
Yeah.
You're on a LaCroix?
Yeah.
You hear that,
It's
James?
evolved.
You hear that, James? I didn't say LaCroix.
Yeah, pronunciation, yeah.
Yeah, I made a deal with him today. So, but you know, my thing is like I look at that as a compliment, but I'm glad that you look at that as I was an ambassador for the community, even though I was only representing one company.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, I didn't care what board you were on as long as you were there. And if you're on something else, dude, that's cool.
I think for me is, even today, we'll see it today, and yesterday, and I get it because I kind of try to do it in the UK scene, is there's a guy there sitting in a Rock preaching to the group, being like, well, I'm going to get these 150 whatever people together, and we're going to, because, you know, it's trust, man. These people are trusting event guys to do stuff.
Yeah.
And we do it because I see it, man. You go down and you're vibing.
Yeah.
I know when you're in the element, you can see it, and that's why.
I got my neck speaker, and it's a Bose speaker, and I can hear everything around. But besides a water bottle, it's like clanking into my.
Yeah, I saved him. I didn't get this on camera. I was like on this engineer booth, and I was like, Joe, stop! And he had like this water bottle dragging on his Hoyt yesterday.
Yeah, that was good. But yeah, dude, like I get in my own zone, but also too, I want people to still feel that, because it's like at the end of the day, like I was watching one guy last night, and no names, but I was watching him, and he's just standing straight up like this right here.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, dude, it's like you're more
be in the moment.
You're more scared of that board than you are enjoying the board. And Carlos, I can't remember what country he was, but his wife came out to the World Cup in 2017 in France. And she told me, she was like, Joe, she's like, your board is like an extension of your
Exactly.
legs. And she's like, whenever you ride, it's like you're letting the board ride you, but you're also riding the board, and it shows. But that's also, it's like, I feel that. So like, I have playlists, man. You know, so it's like I got my fast playlist.
Yeah.
I got my chill playlist.
I've actually got the same thing. I've got my race playlist,
Yeah.
and then I've got my chilling playlist.
I got a song for you for a race playlist. It helped me out in the Cup in 2018, racing against Mr. Mo Stooge.
Yeah.
He killed me after this.
That's the same thing I said to the guys. Obviously, you guys are. Yeah, and if you guys don't know, we're gonna get these guys featured with the Stooge Boards, and what they're doing is basically next level stuff, and that's you. I traveled across the planet to see these guys rap.
When he hit me up and said, "Okay, you have your Haitian. I want to retrofit your Haitian with the Stooge trucks."
Which is awesome, by the way.
If you can find pictures,
I'm throwing this in. Yeah, I'll find
but
it.
it looked like a Mad Max, like a nice, awesome, clean board, and it went Mad Max style. So that thing was like a carving machine, but the wheelbase was too short, and I was like, I want something longer. And then
we're quite,
this is longer. Yeah, I mean, like you can see, it's like it's whatever. But the board is long, and I have this as a handle, and I hold it by the rear handle, for the motors. Yeah. But dude, like this board is on a completely another level.
Its own league, and that's the thing. It's like conflict of interest, whatever it is. This is doing its own. This is like cutting edge stuff, and it's its own thing. And like yesterday, when I looked at your UAV, the precision and the quality, and you touch the grain, and it's alive.
You can feel it. Yeah.
It's alive. It has a soul.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and it's like, so I want to be associated with the companies that are like the best of the best.
Exactly.
Because it's like, I put 8 years into this, and we talked. I was like, I built 20,000 boards. You're like, how many hours that take you? I'm gonna figure out the math.
Yeah, I planted the seed. Unfortunately,
you put that in my head, but it's like, man, it's like I put 8 years into this scene, and it's like, it's a lot of late nights and making videos and posting group rides and getting people just as stoked as I am. I mean,
and that's what I think. That's what it comes down to, is what we get. And you just want to share that with everyone.
Yeah, and I just enjoy seeing people have a good time, just like me. I mean, you had mentioned to me earlier that you have certain issues.
Yep.
I also have those certain issues, and I think a lot of people in this world have those thoughts and those mental capabilities in their brain. But when it comes down to it, you came out from the UK. Yeah. We're hanging out in Vegas. And what, today's the second day, so we have, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. So it's like, he's got the passion, I've got the passion, all these people from all over the whole world. I'm meeting guys from Australia, and it's like, damn, dude, it's like the same thing that I've seen in the last 8 years, but it just keeps getting bigger and growing. Like last year, you weren't here for ESK8CON, but you watched all the videos, you talked to all the homies, and guess what? You're here. Yeah. And then next year,
who knows?
I like to see it keep on getting better and better, but that comes with you guys, man.
Yeah. Why weren't you there? And if you was there, I hope you're looking back and thinking how amazing it was.
Correct. Hell yeah, man. So I'm glad to meet you, and we got to get ready, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna go shred. So let's go. We're going.
Hell yeah.
So I hope you've enjoyed this kind of insight on a bit more about the legend, SOCAL Legend. For me, it was a real honour, really being invited into his crib, really. Knowing more about him, like I said, I've been looking up to him for a long, long time, and his impact with the wider spread community is legendary. And some of the events that are coming up later on in the video, he was part of making those things reality. So it's an absolute joy sitting down and chilling with him. So as always, in the end of my videos, I always like to do a quick sneak peek of what's coming up in the next video. So on this one, we've kind of got a channel exclusive. I've never seen anyone do this. I'm out with the Hoyt Street electric skateboard team, and basically going out and do some epic ride footage of them. So here's a tiny little taste of what's coming up in the next video. So let's have a look at it now. So I hope that's got you really, really hyped for the next video. It was an absolute joy. I'm going to talk more about that board in the next video. But anyway, that's all you're going to get on this one. So you have to subscribe for more content and comment. Is there anything else that you would like to know about Joe? Could we reach out to him? Would you like to have him on the channel again? Comment below. And if you've enjoyed this video, drop a like. Anyway, so that summarizes this video. So thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. It's an absolute thrill making these videos for you. And if you've liked what you've done, so that is a bit of an ending for this video. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, drop a like below and comment. Would you like to have Joe on the channel before? Would you like to see more kind of community interviews coming on the channel? Comment below, because remember, this is your channel. So subscribe for more content. Comes out on a weekly basis, and I'll see you legends on the next one. Peace.